Guess where I am? The West Coast Trail. Just started, we're about 3 minutes in, and already.
This trail's a little less sturdy than the last one.
Alright, so we're probably somewhere about 20 minutes in, and the West Coast Trail immediately reminds you of how it's going to whip your ass by giving you some very big ladders to go up and down and a little uphill. But check out the size of this thing. Like, what is that? Are you serious? Have you seen how big this thing is? Like, really? Guys, it's 5:45 and we've done exactly 12 kilometers. So it's spitting us back out onto the beach, and you can see what they do here to mark it. They put all these crazy little buoys everywhere. Oh, it looks like someone's got a fire going over there. Anyway, what I'm hoping is that the next 4 kilometers to the campsite I want to get to is a little bit easier, because I'll be walking on this. Hey!
Hey!
Hey! Make yourself look big there, buddy. (7 p.m. We're just rolling in. You can see the arrow tells us where to go. So we left at 2:30, and guess we're looking at 4.5 hours to do 16 kilometers. It's not that bad. How does it look?
Good morning. It is 6:15. Last night I ended up sharing a campsite with the two Johns, I call them. John from New Zealand, who now lives in San Francisco, and John from Victoria. I went to bed around 10 p.m. and it is... I had a good sleep, but again, it's not looking so nice outside.
Hello guys, we're on day number 2. Time is 7:15. Yesterday was a relatively easy day because we got a late start, but today, if we want to make it out of this trail with the amount of food that I have, I'm going to have to do about 25K a day for the next 2 days, which leaves me about 15K on the last day. Woke up, it's overcast, but it's not raining, and that's a good thing. We're going to get started and see how the day goes. That's the ultralight camp stoves from when the West Coast Trail was a rescue route for the ships. This is the first ever alcohol stove invented. Still in good shape, barely any rust. This, my friends, is our first cable car. And it's how we cross this river. I wanted to share with you something that you may find amusing, but I definitely do not. And that is that after all this work using the cable car, I left my hiking poles on the other side. So it is taking everything I have, all the strength, patience, to not disassemble this cable car piece by piece and set it on fire. I gotta go back and get him and come back. Still sick. You're going to see as you're coming along the coast, you want to check your tide tables, make sure you're here during low tide. And here's one area where it could be a real problem if you show up and it's high tide. Mainly because you'll drown.
Put it in drive, get on the road. Go. City lights turn to tree lines, a national park sign.
So now we're taking the first of two ferries across some of the Narrows. Back with John and Hippie Doug. There it is.
Mountains approach with more winds in the road. The air turns to falling snow. Miles away, just up ahead, it doesn't matter what any of us is looking for. We'll never find it because it's not even there. I've been showing falling rock warning, construction work slowing.
That's a whale.
The engine blazes, the elevation raises, the dynamite walls contain us. Everyone's watching for animals crossing to the part of the glass that's defrosted. Miles away, just up ahead, it doesn't matter what any of us is looking for. We'll never find it because it's not even there.
Guys, good evening. It is 6:15 p.m. So I left the campsite about 11 hours ago. Let me tell you why I pushed so hard today. Because of this right here. This is called Monique's. They serve burgers and beer on the West Coast Trail at kilometer number 44 maybe? So, I'm not at my campsite, but I'm definitely gonna stop here. I'm gonna drink 3 beers, order a burger, some french fries, and fill myself up. I love it. Look at this.
Hanging out by the campfire with my friends there, Lucy from Saskatoon, Dirk from Germany, John from New Zealand, and I actually didn't get the other 2 people's names, but they're from San Diego. Today was a long day. I did 30K, left at 7:15, got here at about 7:15 with about an hour and a half stop, so about 10.5 hours of hiking to do that. Started this morning at Tsocowis and went to Carmanah, which is where I am now, which is just past Monique's. That's where I grabbed the burger. Tomorrow will be a shorter day, probably around 18 kilometers, and then hopefully get out the day after that, which would total 4 days, and which also means I won't run out of food. I'm pooched right now, legs are sore, going to bed. See you in the morning.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 o'clock on the dot. You can see my campsite over there. We had a number of visitors. It was great. We're at Carmanah Creek right now. Morning of day number 3. Yesterday, like I said, was a long day, 30K. But today we want to get to Camper Bay, which is only 18 kilometers. And 18 kilometers, even if the terrain is rough, shouldn't be that bad of a day. The current pace, I'll be out tomorrow, which works out perfect for the remainder of my Vancouver Island trip. Let's go.
The afternoon light was reaching down to the side as my old love stared into the fire with her new love there. Camping up north, the same place we shared. Behind the van they heard crashing of land, and they looked to see a grizzly bear lurking amongst the trees, searching their ground for something to eat. What happened to my old love just froze, but her man got scared. He started to run, thinking she had begun, but he left her there, alone in the woods with the bear. Surprise looked right into her eyes and decided that she was its prey, or some kind of threat. So followed its instincts to deal with it. Charged right towards her, stopped just before her and stood up high, swiped at her shoulder, dragged her by the torso around the side. And that's how my old love died.
18 kilometers in about 7.5 hours. And we went from, let's see here, on the map we were at Carmanah Creek, which is at kilometer 46, and we're now at Camper Bay at kilometer 62. So it's a little bit early, it's about 4 o'clock right now. We're going to have a fire, hang out. I got John here again, my buddy from New Zealand, and John, my other buddy from Victoria, who I've camped with every night so far. Although we don't hike together, we end up camping together. The nice thing is that tomorrow we'll have 13 kilometers out, and the tide table is telling us that we can take the beach on the way out, so that will alleviate some pain of the ladders and whatnot, and will allow us some beautiful views, because that's supposed to be a great area. Pretty pooched, gonna have some dinner, and then if I don't see you tonight, I'll see you in the morning.
Well, hey guys, it's day number 4, and it's 20 after 6 in the morning. The plan today is to cover the final 13 kilometers in order to make the ferry for 3:30. And the ferry takes me over to where I parked my car. If I miss the ferry, I have to swim the channel, which I don't want to do. So I want to be on the trail by 7, and that's what I'm going to do. Let's go. Well, it's 7:20 a.m. We're at Camper Bay, and we're just getting ready to hike out. Should be about 6 or 7 hours. I wanted to be on the trail for 7, but you know, certain comforts of this campsite, such as this, which is basically the world's greatest bathroom, kept me here, drew me in, so I stayed a little longer. But we're on our way now, we gotta get the heck out of here. More ladders. Guys, we've only been hiking about an hour today, and we've gone from Camper Bay to Beach Access A. Now the good thing is that I timed it so that the tide, high tide is at I think 7:45. So it's 8:20 now, meaning that I'm going to head down on the beach and take the beach all the way to Thrasher Cove, which is supposed to be much nicer than taking the forest. You can see how high tide happened just about a half hour or so ago. So what it's called chasing the tide out. By the time we make it around the corner, it should have gone out another foot or so. And as I go on, it'll recede a little bit more and more, allowing me to get down onto the lower shelf for hiking.
Cruel and weary, but just some words that use for how I see us around this uptight town, tempting us just to weighing us down. But we think of leaving out of the rush and into the slow. The clouds let go, the sun and show, the city lights. She took off her clothes, and now you know how we feel. We're like spokes in a wheel of a bike in some field. Oh, we are riding along through the streets.
Hey guys, if you get to Own Point, like I did, and the tide isn't cooperating, meaning that the water level is too high and too dangerous, and there's 1 million seals, there's a secret access point. It might not even be secret, it's been there clearly for years, and there's ropes and everything to get around. So just use that, and you're good to go.
Sense of what's right or wrong. you right now. Cool and breezy, not the words I use for how I see us around this uptight town. The electronics just weighing us down. And now you know how we feel, like spokes in a wheel of a bike in some field. Oh, we are riding along through the streets before dawn with no sense of what's right.
Well guys, you're not going to believe it, but this is the end of the West Coast Trail. 75 kilometers later, and you end up at the Gordon River. The only thing left to do before I get to the other side is to raise that buoy, let them know that I'm here. Once I do, that guy's going to come get me, ferry me across. Ferry now from the end of the West Coast Trail over to the information office. Got my buddy John with me still. He kept pace, so we're pretty happy about that. Today we hiked about 6 hours. We left at 20 after 7, stopped for a half-hour lunch or so, and got to the end about 2 o'clock. So from Camper Bay to the end of the trail, it's quite a bit more rugged than the beginning. Let's call it 10 times more rugged, let's say, but still doable. And we covered 13 kilometers. By the time we get across there, we'll be unloading our packs into our car and heading for a beer.